Hey guys, what's going on? This is Roth. I'm so excited. I'm here with Paul Feig.
Hey, I'm excited. Get me.
Are you a fan of Freaks and Geeks like I am? I think you are. The man who co-created it.
Created it, actually.
Created it, and then he came on afterwards, right?
Yeah, I brought it.
Came on afterwards.
I wrote it as a spec, and then Jed was an old friend of mine, and he had said he had just made a deal at DreamWorks to do TV after he'd come off of the Larry Sanders Show, and said to me, "Hey, if you ever have an idea you think I'd like," so I wrote this, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll send it to Judd," and he, like, within 12 hours bought it, and we were
because he is a smart man.
Well, there you go.
I love that show. I'm sure our audience does as well. And if you don't, you should really go and watch it. It's such a great season.
Yes,
of
on Netflix you can.
Yeah.
Can be found.
Can enjoy it.
There's only 18 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. It's quick, but then you'll be sad.
Yes.
Because it's over.
You'll be sad, and you get to experience the old school 4x3 formatting. It's not letterbox. It's TVs used to be square, so you can watch that and be nostalgic for that.
Yeah, and they have not reformatted it so that you see the boom operator in the shot just yet.
Exactly, and dolly track and all that. I'm looking forward to that day.
That actually happened to Buffy. Whole other topic, but it's a great show. Has one of my amazing almost final shots with Jason Segel slow-mo walking out, just heartbroken and devastated. I won't. Spoiler alert. Anyway, let's move on. You have a new series.
Yes.
Yahoo, it's launching on
Yahoo Screen.
Yahoo Screen on April 14th. All 8 episodes.
Yep.
Other Space.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about the sort of inception of this. Why are you referencing things like Galaxy Quest? Were you sort of a fan of space comedies?
Well, no, it actually came from the fact that there weren't really any space comedies. The space comedies I saw, I mean, look, there was like Red Dwarf, and then Hyperdrive out of the UK, which were great. But like America wasn't really doing. I mean, other than Galaxy Quest, everything else was like parody, like the Spaceballs and that kind of thing, where it was like making fun of sci-fi. But I'm a giant sci-fi fan, has been my whole life, and so I was like, I don't want to make fun of sci-fi. Like, I want like a comedy that takes place in a sci-fi setting where you can have the cool spaceships and have the hardware and have kind of science-based humor. And so this is actually something I created about 8 years ago for NBC, because I had a deal with Imagine Entertainment. Pitched this to NBC. They liked the idea. I wrote it, but I wrote it as a single camera. But this was back in like 2005, so The Office hadn't taken off yet.
Right.
So they're very nervous about single camera comedies and wanted me to reformat it.
Now.
Yeah, I know. That's all you get, which is great. I love it. It's just so much better for comedy, I think, because it just keeps it more behavioral and real. But so I wrote it, and then so they wanted me to change it to like a sitcom with a multicam. I was like, okay, so I kind of wrote it for that. I was not happy with it, and they didn't know what to do with it. And so it was dead. But then what happens when you develop for a company, you kind of lose the script. They own it. And so it was, I'm not a person that hangs on to passion projects, because I always feel like you kind of evolve past that, and then you're going back and pulling something you shouldn't do anymore. But this one always stuck with me, because I loved the idea of it. I even loved the name Other Space. Everything about it, I was like, I gotta make that. I just think there's something there. And so a couple years ago, when we were doing post-production on The Heat, I got a call that we were getting the rights back. And then right after that, I got a call from my TV agent saying that Yahoo was looking to put real money into a couple of series. And so it just like fired it off to them, and they wanted to do it. And I'm just so happy that I got to make it. I really love the show.
I don't think that we're spoiling anything to say that very quickly in the first episode, they go through a wormhole or a tear, dimensional tear, and they're in another dimension. What's interesting is that I've seen only the first 3 so far. It's confined mostly to the ship at this point. So is that kind of it's like doing a bottle episode every episode. Is there something interesting about that for you?
Yeah, my theory on television, especially television comedies, is that you like shows. You like the characters on the show become your friends, so you want to visit with those people. But also, I think that the setting like Cheers was a perfect example of that. Like you go like every week I'm going to go down to the bar and hang with my friends. There's something very comforting about that. That's I worked on The Office for years and I always liked that. And the seasons went on, they were trying to get out in the world more, and I was always like, let's keep it in the office because it's a place you like and you feel good to be there. And so this just naturally had that because you're trapped in a spaceship in another universe. There's not many places you can go. I mean, there's episodes coming up where they'll go down onto a planet and they, but basically, I really wanted this to be sort of like The Office meets Lost in Space, and we even do the kind of the documentary style, which you'll find out in episode 4 why it's actually being shot that way. There's a little surprise you get from that, but I just love that style.
I was wondering when we're going to meet the crew.
Yeah, yeah. So well, you'll see. You got to watch. You go 4 episodes in, then you will know what's happening.
It does have a little bit of. And it's probably annoying to have your work likened to each other, but I'm going to do it anyway. A little element of freaks and geeks in that this is a band of misfits, lost together. Can you sort of talk about the balance of, I always think it's so interesting to have a character that could so easily slip into annoying, and walk that line of funny.
Well, first of all, it's a testament to the actors that we hire because I like to write characters that are extreme, not like extreme, they're bananas, but just, I like extreme personalities. I think of all our favorite people in life are very, there's some oddballs out there.
Oh, yeah.
But it's very easy to to write a character like that and then get somebody who's going to play into it like, look, I'm nuts. And then that's terrible because then it is annoying and it's also, you go like, are they just making fun of the character? I don't want anybody who has contempt for the character they're playing. And so when you do the auditions, you see who comes in and finds the humanity in that character and channels it through themselves. And and I'm also very much in all the auditions I say don't worry about the words, make it your own. Go off script if you want because I want that personality to come through.
Yeah.
And it's the mistake. All the years I was directing television, I saw in some of the shows that the showrunners and writers would micromanage the actors, say this joke this way, and it's people's mouths work differently, and I want their personality because I'm going to feed off of that as the creator of the show and with our writers, and we're going to go oh, that gives us an idea that they did that, and we're constantly rewriting and we're constantly coming up with alt jokes and ad-libbing, and it's a big kind of free-for-all, and then we sort it out in the editing room.
Again, I'm not to spoil anything, but Dave Franco makes an appearance in perhaps the best views of Dave Franco that I have ever seen.
I love it. We're very proud of that episode. That's the amazing Owen Ellickson, who's our showrunner, who wrote that episode, and it's such a funny idea.
It's so funny, and it so totally captures not only who the person that he's referencing is in our culture, but who he is too at this point. It's kind of amazing.
I love Dave. Dave and I have been trying to figure out something to do for a long time. And when Owen wrote that role, I was like, we got to get Dave. It was unfortunately, Dave, big movie star, said yes. So. Yeah,
that's kind of an amazing, quick little appearance and a fun thing for the people can look forward to when they watch it. How are you finding the experience of? The television has changed so much, even just in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
We're trying to race to keep up with how it's evolving. What's it like for you? Are you finding that there's a difference, or is it business as usual?
Creatively, it's business as usual. But I think it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to have these new formats and outlets for television. Because the problem was for so many years we were all held hostage by the network system, which worked and produced tons of great shows. But for years I would say I'd rather be the first scripted show on QVC than to have to deal with trying to be one of a million shows on a network.
That are micromanaged.
Yeah, that are micromanaged, and also just that once a place has had some successes, they then apply the rules of those successes to everything else they do. And so that's when they become stale, because you go in these new places, these new outlets start, and they have these amazing new shows, and you're like, what a unique voice. And then suddenly then they're like, oh, let's get that again.
Yeah.
And that's when it all falls apart. And so I think the more of these outlets that just keep popping up, you're just going to, Yahoo Screen, they came to us. We didn't get any they left us so alone and were so supportive and put some extra money in because we went over a little bit because of our effects and all that.
Yeah.
But they were great. They're just great.
It's interesting too that you say that, because I wonder, as things like Netflix evolve, if they will sort of get a tone. It seems like they're chasing HBO. Anyway.
Everybody's chasing everybody. Everybody's chasing Netflix right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the model that everybody kind of wants to hit, and as well they should want to hit it because it just it's the only way. It's the only way to launch a show, I think, these days is to be able to put it out in a binge watch format. Because Yahoo actually originally wanted to do ours one per week, and I said, like, no, the only way I'll do this is if we put them all out, because that's the only way you can discover something you've never heard of before. You know, I mean, that's how I even
Do you think that people don't have the patience to wait a week to check in again?
I don't. I mean, once you get to know it, think about like Game of Thrones now.
Yeah.
You walk through fire to get to that next week. But for a new show, even if you kind of like the pilot, you go, oh, that's fun. It still becomes an appointment thing. Like, wait, I got to come back next week, and it's so easy to lose that thread. Whereas, you go like, that was fun. Maybe I'll watch another one. You watch 3 in a row. If a show's good, you'll get hooked.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, I found that by the time I had watched the third one, I wanted there was already like a question that I wanted an answer to.
Oh, good. That's good.
Which is fun and interesting for a comedy.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big sci-fi fan too, so that element of it I wanted addressed.
Yeah, oh good. No, I mean, what's really why television's in such a golden age right now is that the serialization of storytelling and TV shows has finally been embraced, which was you could not do on network TV because because that means if they didn't see it last week, then they're going to feel like they're behind and they won't catch up.
Yeah.
So now, because of binge watching and all that, it doesn't matter anymore. So TV in a way is kind of like giant movies that get chopped up into sections, and it's the best way to tell stories because you're like, I got to see the next one. Because you're left, wanting more.
You guys should check out Other Space. It's on Yahoo Screens. It launches tomorrow on April 14th, and then it's available.
It's available, all 8 episodes. Just go to Yahoo Screen.
Yeah.
Either through, through PlayStation, Roku, any of that. Wherever you find that little purple icon that says Yahoo Screen. And then they have one of the best apps I've ever seen, the Yahoo Screen app for your phone, and it's amazing. And you get all this, everything's free on it, be it Community and Sin City Saints, but also SNL. Every day they have a free concert on there.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. I was kind of blown away. Yeah. 'Cause look, as a filmmaker, the last thing you kind of want is like, everyone watch it on your phone. Because honestly, it looks so good on a big screen. But at the same time, I just want people to watch it. And so, you can take it with you and then...
You have ideas for season 2?
Oh, we've got so many ideas. No, we're. I mean, doing 8 episodes was just like whet our appetite for this, and we just can't. We're dying to make more, so hopefully we will get to make more.
Check it out. Check it out. You can tweet this fine gentleman right here at
Paul
Feig.
Feig.
Just your name, yeah. I follow you on Twitter as it happens.
Why, thank you.
Tweet nice things though, because this is a very nice person who makes great TV shows.
You can still be mean to me if you want.
Don't be mean. Let's all be nice. Exactly. All right, thank you so much for coming in here and leading by example by being kind.
Thank you.
And making wonderful properties.
And June 5th, Spy comes out. Go see.
June 5th.
You'll like it. Jason Statham is hilarious.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.